What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm going to pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Announcement from Benjamin C. Steele talking to you about wearing a mask. Not this one, but this one. With everything going on right now with this pandemic, you need to wear a mask. My mask is for your safety. Your mask is for mine. I don't care what your uncles, brothers, best friends, mailman's roommate from college put on social media. Chances are they didn't think it through, and there's a very better than average chance that they're an idiot. So when you go outside, you put on your little mask over your face, put the little straps around your ears, and we're all going to be a lot safer. This is a team.
Zeke Mercer, one half of the Tag Team Champions. I'm here to tell you that if you want to be a champion, if you want to survive this thing, wear your freaking mask, okay? It comes in all different colors. You can get Eclipse Blue, JC White and Black, or even hell, Blue and Gold. But guys, please, also remember, please, it goes over the nose. Over the nose. Thank you.
for a foot or an inch, yeah, I fight for you all. Is the truth and I'm in, yeah, I fight for every breath that I
What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm gonna pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network for your independent wrestling entertainment. Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Just Pro Wrestling News Podcast. No filler, no pop-ups. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect.
It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, 779 Tuesdays. We would talk about professionalized wrestling. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in the full Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There's a lot of bodies on that camera. Look at that. He's always peeking around me. We'll get to them in just a moment. But first of all, my co-pilot in the Wrestling Mayhem world for over 10 years. He is the only Mayhemmer with a future endeavor letter from the WWE. He is Mad Mike up in Beacon, New York.
I'm on a podcast. I am here. I'm on a podcast. How are you doing, Sorgatron?
That is a sweet Ninja Turtles button-up shirt. Like,
it's great.
I would love to get one of those and see if I can get away with because I usually wear a button-up shirt when I go to my corporate clients for podcast recordings, if in like the financial industry. And what if I just rolled in with like, I'm like, what? It's got a color.
Sorg.
It also has Ninja Turtles.
First of all, these are the bed sheets I had when I was a child.
So did I. Same bed sheets.
This is the exact pattern of the bed sheets I had when I was a child.
That's tremendous.
I saw these pop up on this site that I can plug if you want, but they're not.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, whatever.
Okay. It looks like they're called Results, but if you go to RSVLTS, it's actually Roosevelt's.
And it's all those kind of printed color shirts, right? Like I've seen them in my feed
too.
too.
They have Turtles. They have Nickelodeon. They have Star Wars. They have Disney. I have another sweet Sandlot shirt that I got. They also have WWE stuff, and I'm a larger man, and they fit me. If they fit me, they'll fit all of y'all. And they have kids and women print shirts too.
What was it called again? Roosevelt's?
Roosevelt's. If you look up RSVLTS, it'll come.
RSVLTS.
Yeah, it's basically Roosevelt's without any of the vowels.
That's this thing right here, and there's all kind of Disney Princess Collection. There you go.
They
and
have,
there's a WWE and Noel.
That Macho Man shirt I also bought and is on the way to the house.
Yes, and Tom and Jerry. There you go.
Yeah,
there's
have
a lot of fun
tons of
stuff. Yeah, no, I've
the
seen
shirts are a little pricey, but I bought one on a lark just to see because I went to a casino recently and I had some winnings. I'm like, okay, let me try these because they also have a free return.
This is your casino winning shirt?
Yes.
Your casino splurge?
Your lucky shirt.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm like, let me buy it. But these shirts are comfortable as hell.
Nice.
Like they're a little silky, but they're high quality. And they stretch a little bit too. So like they breathe.
Well, I'm closing that tab before I buy my wife one of these Princess Bride shirts that just popped up on the crawl. So,
Save it for Christmas, Sorg.
So also with us, first of all, longtime former producer level on the Patreon, Bradley is here.
I'm not going to say it.
You're not going to say it?
I don't care that he's here.
We'll get to that. Wait for his introduction.
I'm not going to say
first
it.
of all.
You-
Okay.
you-
I may have said it.
Bradley
pull the mic closer to your mouth hole.
He's fine. He's
I
all
can
right.
barely hear you.
There you go.
I'm not going to say it. I don't care that he's
I
here.
Still can't hear
You still can't hear him?
Can-
I had to fix Mike's thing, but don't worry about it. Just say whatever you want to say about Mike now before he can actually hear you.
Just talk all you want about how much you love butts.
Yes.
I don't like butts at all.
You actually had a
I have
butt off
no-
with Dutters here recently, so.
It was butts against jorts, and jorts won. Jorts always win.
Okay. Mike, is he back now?
No.
No, I don't know which one you are now. So, well, we can do this then, and you'll probably get everything. But we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Also with us is first time, long time, right?
Yes, very long time.
Mark
Swanson, yes. I actually got drug in the door by Bradley tonight.
Yes.
He wanted to have a sparring debate with me. And Bradley's been telling me for weeks now that Mike and I are going to get along just fine with our AEW opinions.
Oh,
so I cannot wait to get into AEW.
Oh boy.
tonight.
Oh boy,
Awesome.
you're going to ruin my joy of wrestling. Thank you.
Yes, I am.
So, well, Tony Khan saved wrestling and you're here to kill it? What's happening?
With a lethal dose of straight edge poison.
Bro, I there's a wheelie chair just sitting out in the middle of nowhere at the end of the premiere show, and I sat in it, and I just wanted to pull the end of that promo on somebody and turn the chair around.
I can tell right now Mike and I are going to get along with our VKM impersonation.
There you go.
You're fired.
Like Mike, when you got company emails from the boss, did you like read them in your head or out loud in his voice back in the day before your future endeavored?
Oh, they actually came in audio files.
What? No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Like
No.
I didn't want that leaking, I'm sure.
No, but I definitely read them in my head, not out loud.
I'm sure most of the company does.
In that voice.
Yes,
Yeah.
that seems like the right choice. I'm sure everybody for that company does. So I just got a text from Vince. What, he texts? Actually, I wonder if he would.
He's like, "Good work, pal. Have a great Christmas."
There you go. Perfect. And also the guest of honor for tonight, Warhorse's favorite wrestler. Literally, I ran into Warhorse Saturday night, and this is the first conversation I had with him. And I was like, "Hey, Chase Gould's going to be on my show on Tuesday." And he's like, "Chase Gould!" I was like, he yells everything because he's Warhorse. But Chase Gould is here.
Chase Gould!
Chase Gould!
You are blessed with the presence of the best-smelling man in professional wrestling.
Yes.
Is that what that is? I smell it over my my headphones. That's weird. I didn't know smoke could travel like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you have something this good, it's very powerful.
That's weird. I thought my wife just like started a new Febreze thing or something. But no, okay. I get it.
Well, thank you, Chase, for being here. Of course, you got a lot going on. We'll get into that here in segment 2. And, of course, a big part of the Prospect Pro Wrestling that's returning with Homecoming here this Saturday, actually. Oh, geez, I forgot how calendars work. But thank you for being here, sir, and brightening up the studio here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, finally, long time coming. But anyways, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Please go check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Please hit us up at the email address.
Good times.
Oof. I have to fix that later.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I'm going to
All
have to pull that down a little bit.
Yeah,
Put it
Jesus.
in Bradley mode. Hey, Mike, you said you were worried about hearing them. We fixed that.
No, to be fair, I never said I wanted to hear them. I said I
Hey,
needed to hear them.
hey.
All right.
By the way,
where's
Get
the mute
along
button?
here.
Chase Skull.
Oh no.
Oh, no. What did I hit?
Yes.
What did I
Oh
hit?
no, what did
Oh,
you
no.
do?
What did I do? Bradley is
What did you
ghosted over
do?
everything. What
Bradley has ruined
happened?
the show.
What is happening here?
Oh no,
is
you know what
going
this
on?
is? Sorg,
What
this is
is
the multiverse.
going on?
This is the
What is
multiverse, Sorg.
This is the multiverse. Hold on, let
We're
me
in
fix
the
that.
multiverse
Okay.
now.
Oh, wow. I got to remember that effect.
You cloned the video.
We've only just begun to live.
Sorg.
Yeah, we've
Chase Gold.
There you go.
He's gonna.
Jeez.
Sorg found an effect that he
Okay.
didn't know he could do.
No.
Sorg, you
I
need
just-
to turn that off because that was.
Yeah, it's trippy. If you're on audio, basically Bradley was superimposed over all of us. It was like
He was the butt of all of our shots.
Bradley was
Hey.
just like in all of our souls.
You were behind us. That's where butts are, Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
You were the butt of all of us. You were the butt of the podcast.
We had a butt off with Dutters here when he came in, actually. So,
In fact, can we introduce Bradley as the butt of the podcast?
No.
well, okay.
I think
Anyways, let's get back to it. 412-206-WMS0 is our hotline. You can call when you're drunk, and hopefully that is also on your ex's phone number in your phone. So stop calling her and call us instead. Anyways, at Mayhem Show on the tweets, Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook page and group. The group is where a lot of great discussions are happening, including just like tweets that I love to share.
I'm gonna pull out my phone and start tweeting about
There you
Bradley.
go. There you
my
go. There you
God.
go. Every Tuesday, we are live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook page, on the YouTube page, and on the Sorgatron Media Twitch page, which I have not vetted since we went live. So I hope those are all going out, huh? And also, you can subscribe to us on your favorite podcast player. Please also leave a review, especially on iTunes or wherever that is available to you, to let other people know what they're getting into on this show, because I usually don't know from the week to week. And also thank you to our Patreon supporters, patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show, our friends at the fan of the show level, Bo Diggity! Woo! See, Chase, it was perfect because we already do a lot of yelling on this show, so you're fit in just fine. Ed Burke and Team Hammerfist at the Poppy Club level, Dave Potter and OccupyProWrestling.com, our friends at the Pizza Club level, Doc Remedy, Kyle Turner, Riz, and Bobby F. J. And at the manager level, Bradley and Tina Keys. And that's why Bradley has the +1 privileges in the studio.
He is the butt of the podcast.
Because
I'm not the butt.
He is a manager. He is the fancy.
If I'm manager, why do they get the couch?
He is the fancy. Well, you said I'm going to sit
Because
over
they're
here.
the guests,
you chose
Bradley.
that.
You chose your spot because that was your manager duties to choose the spot, sir.
Man.
Well, you chose poorly. That's not on me, man. It's
Bad
You
managerial
have
skills.
chosen poorly.
Hey, you don't have to be a good manager to give us $20 a month, but you can be a. I appreciate it.
Uncle
I
Pennybags
mean-
You
over
just have to
there.
be generous. That's all.
I mean, we know how it goes. I mean, we've all had that manager, right? So, is Bradley that manager?
I'm your bad manager.
You're my bad manager. Can we speak to your manager? I'm going to just send
You're
all
the
the
butt
emails to
manager.
Bradley.
That's what
If
you
anybody
are.
has issue with the show, I'm just going to send you to our manager, and we're just going to CC Bradley and Tina and let them handle it now, because they're the bosses. So, what the hell? Shut
up.
I figured this section. We were trying to figure out how to organize the sections on the show today.
Before we get into the weekend,
The what?
but before we get into what happened this past weekend,
Oh, I thought we were talking about the band.
no.
Okay.
What? All right. What happened on NXT right now?
Okay.
Is amazing.
Okay.
Ted DiBiase presented Cameron Grimes with the $1 Million Championship,
Okay.
it's a WWE shop replica.
No.
Yes.
What have they been using?
No. DiBiase took the real one home with him and left and presented Grimes with the replica.
The heck?
Are we supposed to know this or?
Well,
No, Grimes said it. Grimes said it. He's like, "Is this a replica?" and DiBiase drove off laughing from his limo.
Perfect. And everything ends
yes.
the right way, obviously.
Yes, it's absolutely
So,
perfect.
That's great.
It's the best way they could have ended it without Virgil.
No, the best way they could have ended it without Virgil is anything without Virgil. So
Did you actually see the latest Virgil update that he was in front of Vince McMahon's Walk of Fame star on the sidewalk in Hollywood signing autographs? That was the latest Virgil sighting.
Oh my!
wow, was that before or after Steel City Con? Because we were just
I think that was actually within the past couple of days that I
jeez.
actually saw the tweet about it.
Man, I didn't know
He
Greyhound.
had the table and everything.
I didn't know a Greyhound could get you out there that quick. Oh,
Apparently, gotta get that meat sauce.
Gotta get that meat sauce. We were actively avoiding him at the Steel City Con, so he was not back with the celebrities. I'll tell you that. He was actually up by the front door, so it was like a front door booth. Of
So
Virgil.
he wasn't officially there. He just brought his own table.
Well, he bought a table, I believe.
Okay.
I would imagine.
Did he buy a table from Target and just bring it to the arena?
The other question. Listen, no, though that place is insanely strict about you're not even allowed to bring your own chairs. For your table.
Yeah, they're
it's
insanely strict.
crazy. There's a reason I don't get a table there anymore. But I got to attend that Steel City Con for the first time, and out here in Monroeville, and it was the AEW presence there was pretty cool. I found a session of Miro and Orange Cassidy doing a Q&A at the Steel City Con, and that was fun. So they're doing a lot more than they used to, and it feels like a proper Comic-Con kind of experience now for the most part. So I mean, mostly it's a lot of vendor tables, obviously, but there's a lot of good stuff. Anyways, I thought we'd do the first section here about returns, and let's talk about WWE first. Because we kind of went into it with the other guys a lot last night, and then Mike just wanted to talk about Spider-Man after that. So
yes, because I have calmed down.
You have calmed down. Yes, your eyes are not like saucers right now.
Yeah,
wanting to talk about Spider-Man.
I'm sorry. That Spider-Man that trailer last night just kind of broke me wide open and showered me full of love.
Okay.
And I watched it about 30 times and have seen at least 10 different breakdowns of the 3-minute teaser trailer. So,
Wow.
So I'm excited for Agatha Harkness to be disguised as Doctor Strange. Boom.
Oh,
It was
Ooh.
Agatha.
oh, I like that theory. I like that theory a lot.
Sorg, I told you, Doctor Strange doesn't wink. You know who fucking does? Agatha Harkness.
Agatha Harkness. You're
She
absolutely
winks like
right.
a motherfucker.
You're absolutely right.
That's all I'm gonna say about wrestling the rest of the time.
Okay. So we did have several returns at SummerSlam.
We sure did.
One, I don't know. Let's go with the easiest one first. Brock Lesnar's back,
Orc Laser.
Yeah, he came back, and apparently, as Mike told me last night, after they went off air in SummerSlam, he just destroyed John Cena for a few minutes. So for funsies. So Wilderness Brock is now the variant in
Onion Brock.
SummerSlam. Onion Brock.
Thank you.
the
Someone
pictures
else
that-
saw the onion thing.
On the Twitter, a couple of things were showing an onion and Brock, and they both have the same top. They're both the same color.
Oh, okay.
So onion Brock is what we had.
So you're saying that Brock Lesnar consists of many layers.
Exactly.
Brock onion soup.
Brock Onion. Okay, all right.
And he doesn't smell as good as Chase Cole does.
So Brock came back.
Yeah.
So obvious thing we're going with. I mean, what is he? Survivor Series probably?
No.
No.
So
Are we set up
Okay.
for Summer or WrestleMania?
Could
now?
be Crown
No.
Jewel even.
Rumble?
Fuck no.
Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel.
Oh, okay.
It's for Saudi Slam.
Saudi Slam.
That's what we're saving.
They
this
love
for.
Brock out there. So.
That's when Goldberg's coming back with his son. His son's going to beat up MVP. I don't know why Goldberg would want to bring his son to Saudi Arabia, but he's going to. It's
okay.
not a good idea.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Not a good idea.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. Trying not to get political on this show. But
Do we have the odds on
No,
how
just in
long it's
general.
going
I'm
to
not
take
even
them to
saying
get out of
political. I'm
Saudi
saying COVID.
Arabia?
It's not a good fucking idea.
no. Yeah, there's that. Okay, so there's that. Brock's back. We just had 2 title matches on the second biggest show of the year, both against, relative part-timers. And we wonder why people lose faith with this. Because what is everybody else fighting for at this point? Because it doesn't make any sense when people can just kind of walk in and get title shots.
Especially in the terms of the other return that we'll talk about.
Yes.
Hold up her and then.
There's some logic to that one. I think I'm with a little bit.
I think there's
a little bit. So,
that's different.
So okay, so how are we feeling about Brock coming back? We kind of expected it now that we're in front of fans, right?
As long as he doesn't win, I'm fine.
It is interesting because it's Paul Heyman involved.
Yeah, no, Paul Heyman will sell the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as Brock doesn't win that championship, I'm absolutely fine with it. Because we have to delay to getting The Rock versus Roman somehow. That's a good diversion.
Mm-hmm.
Because all you need to do is you need to stall until Survivor Series when The Rock comes back and attacks Roman Reigns, or opposes during Roman Reigns' victory over whoever the WWE champ at that time is.
So we think it's a one-match thing, is what we're starting to say.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting more than one out of Brock.
Yeah,
because my fear is that Saudi Arabia you're not going to get a real good match. They're just going to show up and do something for a little bit.
Well, I mean, you understand we're at the point when you have Goldberg or Brock Lesnar. You don't have them to have a good match. You have them to
not
do
not for
what
Goldberg.
Brock can have a good.
Brock can have a good match.
Orange Cassidy can have a good match, but we're all here to see the best friends hug and him do something with his hands in his pockets, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the point of it. Brock Lesnar, he shows up and just absolutely mauls somebody, and that's the Brock Lesnar experience that you paid for and everybody bought the pay-per-view for. That is into that. Right, so I mean that's
I guess you're right. I mean, if he's in there with a smaller guy, you're going to get more of a story. But if he's another big guy, it's just going to be too raw.
You say that, but the last time Brock was in Saudi Arabia, Ricochet didn't get that much offense.
No.
You're right. It depends on what small
That was
person.
the end of him.
Yeah. So I mean,
the end of him was a long time before that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying that was the end. I know the end was coming beforehand, but that was the final.
So we have Brock. We had another man show up, the man Becky Lynch, because but also this was kind of a mix up because the Sasha obviously I think was it COVID that got her knocked off the show.
No one will.
No, not official. Sure. Supposedly, probably.
I also heard another rumor that supposedly she was pregnant. I don't
really?
have any backing to that, but that I'm not going to say. I'm just
purely
no rumor,
speculation.
Just pure speculation that I read somewhere.
Okay,
so I have no backing. I don't want to be the starter of that rumor.
Who's the father?
She's married.
I think she is married. So
yeah, I think she is.
She's married to Mikaze from Up Up Down Down.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So
that's speculation.
So she can't. So bringing Becky Lynch back. I mean, it's a big moment. We have that.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it, Becky Lynch was going to come back at some point in the past weekend, and she was going to win a championship at some point this past weekend. Either they could have done what they did at SummerSlam and have her beat Bianca in a surprise match, or you have her show up last night on Raw, challenge 12-time Charlotte, and then beat Charlotte again, and that no one wants that.
Her walking in getting a title shot. Now, granted, and maybe the plan was for her to come in and take on Charlotte, right?
I'm assuming that's what it was.
But obviously, she left, due to pregnancy, and had to rescind the belt to Asuka. So again, was never beaten for the belt. So coming in for a title shot immediately makes sense on paper.
I'm with it.
So, but man. She did not need to Brock Lesnar, one of the most dominant women's champions in a long time.
She didn't Brock Lesnar her. This is the thing. Everyone keeps saying that Bianca got COVID. Bianca didn't get COVID.
No.
She got AJ lead.
It was 2 moves, wasn't it?
Yeah, but here's the thing. AJ Lee, when Paige debuted, AJ was like, "Oh yeah, fine, let's have a match for the title right now." Bianca did the same thing. Bianca wasn't expecting Becky, and Becky had a cheap shot at the beginning of the match and hit the manhandle slam right away. Bianca was thrown completely off guard.
Have you guys heard any of the rumors that supposedly Becky is going to be heel?
Which I was going to say, Mike brings up a good point, that if she did throw the cheap shot to start it, I could see where that could flow into a heel turn.
And plus, Bianca is so loved right now.
Exactly.
Right? So,
I don't know if she's more loved than Becky.
She's my favorite face woman right now.
I mean, you know, if you want to make her, here's the other problem.
You're going to have Becky do some real despicable shit.
Right. And
like honestly,
they tried that before. They tried to make Becky heel, and that's the reason she's face.
Yeah. So we'll see what the rumors are.
Like when you have Becky insult Edge, who at that point could not wrestle anymore, and say that he wasted his career, and that didn't get her over as a heel, Like unless you have her, God, I don't even know what you can do to get Becky booed, because even beating Bianca with a steel chair or like slapping a disarmer on her with a steel chair, I don't even know if that works.
I mean, we really need to get into baby punting territory at this point. With her,
yeah.
don't we? Yeah. I mean, she can bring her own, whatever.
I mean, unless they
Chase,
just have her lean in.
Baby punting. Put that in your little phone there. Baby punting.
Baby punting.
You could lean her
WWE 2005.
This weekend. Baby punting.
Do not give them ideas, please, to BW, because they try a lot of interesting things.
Do you know how to record the punting of a baby? Would you be able to follow that?
Can I follow that?
Yeah, just with your
what
camera.
do you think I do?
I mean, it depends on how the punting skills are.
I mean, I did shoot football.
Some people aren't.
Okay, good.
I mean,
good. You're experienced.
I mean,
good.
I'm experienced.
Oh my God, Pat McAfee could totally punt the baby. He was a place kicker.
I remember Becky tweeting saying, "I tried to be bad, and you, the fans, wouldn't let me." And that's the person you're going to bring in after being gone. That we miss her, and now you're going to immediately turn her heel.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll find out Friday, won't we?
We will.
So,
true.
But see, that's the other thing. Like, Bianca wasn't Kofi because Kofi was never mentioned. Kofi was never allowed to mention the Brock thing again.
Yeah.
If you don't think Bianca and Becky are interacting on Friday, you haven't seen
So, good news. Sucks we didn't have a good match as we were expecting with Sasha and Bianca on Saturday.
No.
Good news. Obviously, we run into, I hope so. If this doesn't happen, I don't know what we're doing. Unless Bianca needs to leave for some reason. Bianca and Becky feuding out of this to lead to, and I mean, the anticipation's greater than anything. Like, we got our big moment with Becky coming back. It's not the moment that we intended to happen.
Tina just brought up a really.
We'll get to that in a moment.
Yeah.
Let me complete my thought here first.
Sorry.
But in the meantime, leading to Extreme Rules, Survivor Series, we're aiming to have a classic with Becky and Bianca, and with Bianca chasing the title. It makes so much sense.
You got to do it to build her
that.
back up. I mean, unless if she comes back and she doesn't have a competitive match with Becky, you completely trash Bianca.
Could you imagine, says Tina, a mixed tag team between Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins versus Bianca and Montez?
Oh.
Yes, and please.
No.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, and
please. Or to keep with storylines, how about Bianca and Edge? Because there's some story history there, I'm saying.
Yeah.
I just
I guess that's true.
And nothing against Montez. It's just that
you'd have to really show
it's a little
Becky insulting Edge again.
Yeah. Like if that continues.
And try to get the second rub off.
Right. Combine the women's division with Charlotte and Becky at WrestleMania. What?
Well, partner saying you can unify the women's titles.
I hope they don't do
that. No.
It's
I never
messy.
want to see Becky versus Charlotte again.
It's messy.
I don't want to see it.
Let us then like less of the women are going to be able to get a chance, and it's going to turn into the Divas.
And plus,
division
theoretically, there's a draft coming up too. So I mean,
I'm so
I could take one
with that.
If you have a one match between the two, and then they go their separate ways, I could go with that.
That's the future. Maybe do a Survivor Series, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Survivor Series, it's going to be champion versus champion.
Right.
Okay.
And that's what the champions are right now.
Is it? Are we doing that?
Because I thought Charlotte's the champ and
they
Becky's
always
champ.
do that.
Have they? I can't remember.
They've been doing that the past couple
been
years.
like
we're back to champion versus champion stuff. Okay. All right.
I want to say one thing. This weekend when I watched SummerSlam, my father, who really didn't watch wrestling with me for a long time, in the past year or two, I finally got him to start. When SmackDown moved to Fridays, I finally got him to start watching. He started getting a little bit at a time. He's still. This weekend was his first full pay-per-view that he ever watched. One point I'll bring up is it took a while to explain to him why Becky Lynch is known as the Man.
I don't get that either. I don't like that. The Man.
I mean, it's one of those that makes sense from the ground floor of when it happened, right?
Yeah, you sit there
and I can't remember.
Ric Flair used to be whoever to be the man. You got to beat the man, and then he now she's known as the Man.
It was a catchphrase that turned into her moniker.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, and then you get to play off of that, right? Like the teacher's like the Man came to Vegas, which is kind of fun Johnny Cashy kind of stuff, right? So like I get that, that's fun. So but it is kind of like it is weird to walk in and say, why is she wearing a Man T-shirt?
For many weeks, I tried everything I could to avoid trying to explain my father, Bray Wyatt, and the Fiend. I
get that.
Yeah, I couldn't get anywhere.
This is where when wrestling becomes too complicated that you can't just pick it up.
Yeah,
it becomes a problem, right? So like there should be some sort of inherent simplicity to it. There can be underlying things, but that the people paying attention can get something off of it and gleam off of it and feel special for knowing that thing, just like watching Marvel cinema movies, right?
Right.
Oh, I know that this means this thing. And it's like everybody else just watches the movie and enjoys it. And you got that little bit of something extra. But when it's just like, yeah, my dad doesn't get what's going on right here. It's complicated. It's weird, right?
Some of it
like
is.
I thought I was watching pro wrestling. And then you realize you were watching on Mondays.
I will say I was watching SummerSlam with two of my friends who don't watch wrestling.
Yeah.
Just straight up don't watch wrestling. Like are aware of it and all that stuff, but don't watch it. And they sat and watched SummerSlam with me. And when Alexa Bliss came out and they had that giant AR Lily on the screen, they were all like, oh no, what is this? No, I don't want it. No, I don't want it.
Trigger warning, huh?
It was pretty great, to see the reactions and stuff. But I will say the Becky and Bianca stuff took a lot of the wind out of the sails of the show.
Yeah,
just in general.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's just one of the big things that people were anticipating. It was all over the intro. It was...
I hate to say, if you were going to do that, you should have saved that to the end.
The end? No.
What spot on the card was that? Was that like the third or fourth?
Yeah,
match?
it was like third or fourth match. I think so.
Odd time to.
There was one more return.
Either that, or you do it right at the beginning.
Gosh.
There's one more return this weekend. I was there for it. We talked about it last night on Monday Mayhem Warriors. Go listen to that on your podcast feed.
Sorg, who was it?
First question: how did the
Samoa
ice
Joe
cream
returning?
taste?
The ice cream.
Yeah,
was
we should talk about that.
The Samoa Joe, yes.
No, I'm serious.
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe returning to the ring was awesome.
Yes, it was. No, Samoa Joe, badass. The nail is in the coffin of Karrion Kross, and he'll be let go within the next 3 months. And that's sad because I like him. But anyways,
he's going to be furniture and beveraged.
He's going what? Furniture and beveraged?
They're going to furniture and beverage him.
He just looks like Red Farouk Assad.
Yeah.
Go back and play WCW NWO Revenge on Nintendo 64 and look up the Executioner. That character, that is Karrion Kross from last night.
We have broken Mark's camera, it seems.
It was blinking red.
Was it blinking at you?
Then it,
oh no! I think
now it's not blinking.
I don't know. Maybe we bumped the plug or something.
I think it's working perfectly, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't know because I go to the
probably
shot.
Nobody wants to see my
That's
mug,
his
so.
shot. Hold on, I got. You know what? That's okay because I still got a Mark shot back here. So we'll
all of these shots are Mark
shots. I'm the old Pittsburgh Reservoir Legend of Shadow.
There
No
you
one
go.
knows my
We'll just go to this one when he's talking. So, anyway, so what the hell?
CM Punk.
CM Punk. Oh yeah, CM Punk. The
ice cream.
The ice cream was delicious. I'm not going to get into. We talked last night about being there in person, the experience, and everything like that. But I am more curious on you getting some other opinions. Mike, we talked about a bit about that experience, or I'm sorry, the watching it and seeing the promo and everything. This is a long time coming. I mean, this is 7 years since he's been with WWE. And this is probably the biggest thing AEW's done for one of their returns, right? As far as most anticipated, it's like, I mean, what other than like Sting was like a couple years and stuff like that, and half of us are like, but this was like kind of a little more close generational here. So, what were your thoughts on the return on Rampage, guys, in the studio here?
You haven't said anything. The guy that loves to scream his name all the time.
He has. Chase has been really quiet about this.
I've been quiet.
You have a CM Punk opinion?
I do. I mean, I'm very excited to see him back. He was one of the very first people that I can remember really captivating me towards wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I mean, he looks in great shape. He doesn't look like he's aged at all. And I'm curious to see how he can do in the rings now.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out in a week and a half, right? So, what about you guys?
I mean, for me, I was very excited. I mean, I'm an old school indie wrestling fan. I started watching back like 2002, 2003. So one of those first major stars that I saw back in the day was CM Punk. And I've always followed his career. I loved how he went full circle, bringing in the Ring of Honor bit from 2005, because I remember that being a huge emotional deal and a big deal in the indie wrestling scene back in the day. We were talking in the studio here beforehand. I thought it was actually done perfectly. Everyone knew it was coming, so you don't need to have him interfere in a match or anything. No. The crowd's all chanting CM Punk. All you have to do is hit that music, play Call the Personality, and he comes out and cuts his promo. And
it's kind of like the Becky Lynch thing, right?
Perfect.
Because we didn't need Becky to go have a 5-star match her first time out. Her showing up was the moment.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
so we don't need to do that. We can, and then we can do more with that later. Like Punk did this, and Punk's going to talk about something else on Wednesday when he's on Dynamite, and then Punk's going to wrestle Darby Allin on the pay-per-view, and like you string it out to maximize things, and you don't give away everything in the first instance, right? And I think that was good. He came back, addressed his situation with AEW, and set up a match. Pitch perfect. The crowd kind of did the rest, right?
Yeah. I took issue with some of his speech.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to hear what your issues are. Like, because I did take issue to one part too, so I'd like to hear what Mike has to say.
I understand that it's very within AEW's landscape when they get someone who was working for WWE to come in and to kind of mock or, shoot, brother, to berate WWE a little bit in their time. And some of them are very much deserved. Like when Miro did it, you never heard me say boo about it because WWE didn't know how to use Miro. Same thing with Brody Lee when he came in. Cody, I take a little bit more issue with because of everything I've said previously on this podcast.
Right.
But I'm gonna say this. I know he was doing a lot of the same stuff before WWE. Without WWE, that moment they don't sell out the United Center based on that.
Okay. Well, you know what? That is almost precisely what Mark told me before the show.
Because
they don't sell out the United Center based on that.
My point was he says 2000. I know, and we talked about there's a difference between professional wrestling and sports entertainment. He says 2005 I left professional wrestling, whatever the date was, 2021. I returned to professional wrestling. I said, well, what did you do in those past? 7 years now or 14 years.
Right.
I said, without those 14 years and being in WWE, are you the star that you are today?
So
not even close.
I'm with that, but also, okay, so there's that.
You returning to pro wrestling. Right after that, you have a wrestling dinosaur. I'm just saying, there's a little bit of sports entertainment in AEW as well.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
They had a Mimosa Mayhem match.
Yes.
That was my jumping the shark moment for AEW. I want to throw that out. That's when I started to lose a lot of respect.
Okay. Let's roll back to the original conversation here about Punk and things.
Yeah, that's another topic.
So there's
he
this.
He never left pro wrestling. He left pro wrestling he enjoyed.
Yes.
There's a difference.
So let me lay a landscape here, and I'm going to use Matt's comment here in a moment as well. So let's finish this thought before we jump in.
Okay.
So you're taking issue with the he wasn't in professional wrestling for his WWE time. Yes, that's true. Yes, there's that. Yes, there's the marquee thing, but also. There is that I went to WWE also at that age. What was it, 2005, 6, something like that? Yeah. Like that was an era where, like,
OVW,
what else was he going to do? Like that was the goal. There's nothing else. TNA was sort
Yeah,
of
exactly.
happening at the time.
He
like,
was already in TNA.
There was no WCW. There was no anything else happening. Like that was the next step, and that was it. And also that leads to probably some of the problems they had because there is no other choice like there is right now.
and
Wait. So with that, let me set the stage, Mike. With that, when you're talking about why are we shitting on this, and this is so much time, Matt makes an interesting point here. It's interesting how people view Punk's long absence differently than Bryan and Edge. Physical damage versus mental and emotional damage. For whatever you want to say about his time there and all well he did for him, it did damage him emotionally.
I completely agree with
and
that.
physically, honestly, physically as well.
I completely agree with all that. Like he should have left the company.
Yes.
He should have left WWE. Absolutely, I completely agree with that. I completely agree that he needed time to rest and recharge and get himself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, however you want to, break it down. He needed to get right with all that.
Yes,
but to discount that entire time that he spent there, I'm sure all of it wasn't as emotionally, physically draining. Like toward the end, yes, absolutely. But the guy had one of the best runs in the past 15, 20 years.
He did.
Like,
and according to him, it was a fight the entire time to do the good stuff. And that's the issue. And that is their personal experience that they are sharing, and that's why they're reflecting on it the way they are. I can't, and even in his interviews, he has not discounted what WWE did for him, but also what's that?
I think he did in that promo.
CM Punk
acknowledge what it did for him, what WWE did for him.
No, he didn't acknowledge it at all.
Also, remember, this is a promo on a competitive wrestling show and not a podcast. Okay, let's be clear.
AEW, it's hard to tell sometimes. Boom.
Yes.
Okay, all right, I'll take that for what it is. But that's a different thing. If he gets on Renee's podcast, which apparently, according to somebody brought up here, I think it just
Tina said he blamed Renee because Renee got on to do WWE backstage.
Yeah, so it kind of opened that door and things like that. And
so
also,
really, WWE brought him back to wrestling.
I don't know that show was more a Fox production than a WWE production.
I'm sorry. What was the show called?
It's got a WWE logo on it.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of NFL Today. Wait. I'm sorry. Is NFL Today on what are ESPN a production of NFL or ESPN?
Yes, it is.
It's one of those kinds of deals.
It's a joint production.
It's a joint production. Okay.
Is Spider-Man a property of Marvel or Sony? Both.
Okay, that's
WWE has something to do with that program.
That's a little bit of spiders and oranges, but we'll go with it. Okay, but anyways, and Fox wanted one Punk on backstage. I'm sure if WWE.
I'm sorry, on what backstage?
On
WWE backstage.
Yes, on WWE backstage.
Just to be clear,
okay.
Mike is on fire tonight. I love it.
Oh, but the lights
I'm
something on
just
fire.
saying, it's disingenuous. It's disingenuous.
It's
If
pro
I can jump in.
wrestling.
If I could jump
Sure,
in.
Bradley.
Yeah,
Bradley,
just get there.
I love another opinion on this.
Okay. Isn't one of the appeals of CM Punk that he shoots on things?
Yes.
So he's kind of out there doing what we're expecting him to do, to shoot on things.
Yes.
Is it the best thing for a wrestler to be doing? Maybe not, but he knows that's what the fans want to see.
Right. We also know Punk, we love Punk, but we also know he's an asshole.
Oh yeah.
Let's also make that clear.
He's a loudmouth.
Don't get this twisted. I love Punk. I bought his fucking shirt.
Yes.
I'm excited to see him in AEW.
We're not fans of wrestlers because they're nice guys.
Yeah, of course not. Well, some of them we are.
Okay.
Some of them we are.
Okay.
That's true. That's true.
They're great people.
Keith Hott.
Yes.
Keith Hott.
I haven't met him, but
I have
genuinely salt of the earth.
A question or two.
Okay.
First question.
Yes.
And this was something my friend John messaged me with. Do you think Punk looks too small right now?
Other than that weird backstage photo, I've seen him with a T-shirt, so I have no idea.
You'd never know it in AEW because they're all small.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
He's
gonna
going to look huge
like,
compared to Darby
There
Allin.
are very few actual big men in AEW.
Yeah,
True.
I'm not worried.
Okay.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not worried about that. I don't think he's going to look exactly like he did 7 years ago.
He ain't gonna be standing next to Paul White anytime soon.
No,
but, you
no.
know.
Well, he probably will just for a laugh.
I really think that's going to be the litmus test, though, is when he gets in the ring, because I think we know that AEW is a work rate company, and if he comes in and craps a bed in the ring against Darby, those fans could easily turn against him.
Are you ready for a comment that's going to piss all of you off? Probably.
Yay! Is it the comment from the?
Yeah, so you heard this.
I know exactly.
He has not done a bit of wrestling training up until last Friday night.
Yep.
He hasn't done one. He hasn't stepped into a ring. He's meaning to do it in the next couple of weeks.
When is All Out?
next Sunday.
And he hasn't been in the ring, and he literally he wasn't even really in the ring 7 years ago in Pittsburgh.
And it's not like Darby's someone he's worked with before.
So
if you're in the front row for this match at All Out, you need to wear your mask, not for COVID, because of all the ring dust that's going to be dusting up in the air.
And
you mean rust? The ring rust?
Ring rust from CM Punk.
Is that the thing? The ring dust.
Ring dust.
Talking.
We got a new term here. Ring dust.
Ring rust. Whatever it is.
I think Defarge and Crummels did that gimmick, if I'm not mistaken. but okay.
But here's the other
I'm
question.
stealing it.
Here's the other question. Do you think that WWE pushed 2 returns on SummerSlam because of the CM Punk return?
No.
Yes.
No.
I think
no.
they did.
Yeah.
No way.
No, they're doing it just because that's their
I think
business.
Becky did. I don't think they want. I think they want to say Becky for Survivor
No,
Series.
Did you have to have Brock come out at the end of SummerSlam?
Whoa. Becky was brought out. Brock was already planned. Becky was brought out to make up for the Sasha loss.
Yeah.
So what if Sasha was fine and she would have wrestled on Saturday night? Then would you see Becky?
If Sasha was fine.
No.
Exactly.
If Sasha was fine, we would not have seen Becky. Period.
We would have last night on Raw.
Potentially, yeah.
No, I guarantee.
The question is SummerSlam.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, the question is SummerSlam? No.
Because you have Friday going to Saturday. I'm not talking Friday going to Monday.
Nothing on SummerSlam was a response to Friday night.
I think Becky was partly. Brock, I don't think so.
I disagree.
Brock,
I disagree, and we don't know the answer.
We agree to disagree.
I'm going to say as soon as they got the certain paychecks, Brock was coming back.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm with that.
As soon as they got
it's all about the money.
It's not reaction. It's about business and making sure they're popping their own numbers and selling out 50,000 people in a stadium, and doing this and taking care of their stuff. I'm sure Carlin says I'm sure Punk has some rest to knock off, but I'd also wager that he'll look better than Joe did at Takeover. Ooh.
Caliber of opponent.
Wow.
That's ring dust.
Wow.
Caliber of opponent.
Stardust and gold dust and ring dust.
Yes, exactly.
A
Tina says
match than Darby Allin.
And Tina, let me know if this was said somewhere or a rumor, but Tina's still insisting that Becky was slated to return in December.
That's what I'm thinking. I think Becky was November, December.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not even
I think it was rushed.
So, with that, I think we covered all the major returns for this past weekend.
Yes.
I believe.
We should talk about one quick thing.
Should we?
I want to give AEW credit on something. Yeah, I know. Weird.
Gasp.
That's the whole reason I'm wearing this polo.
That's right.
The fifth labor of Jericho.
Yes.
Absolutely well done.
Really?
With MJF getting
yes.
Okay.
Jericho needed to lose.
And Jericho tapping out. That was. I didn't think they would do it.
And
to be perfectly honest,
that's
I didn't
how
think
you build
they would.
stars.
Yes.
Also appreciating that the first thing out of CM Punk's mouth was a reference to Britt Baker.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Which also on that call he says, and that's how you get talent over. So
MJF is almost like a champion without a belt.
Oh, he is. He's one of those guys that doesn't need one.
Exactly. Sometimes if you're such a big star,
you don't need a belt when you got a sweet scarf like that.
So our buddy Riz,
Riz, yes,
he tweeted out last week that he wanted Cult of Personality to hit, and someone comes out in a hoodie, and it's MJF.
Yes.
Oh, that would have.
Which got
it.
Which,
I
by the
never
way,
have done that.
He got.
Oh, you
Riz plays
Chicago.
games. Riz plays games. Got 1,000 likes on that thing.
Yeah.
It's
you would have killed the town doing that.
Oh yeah, would have. They would have killed
Riz
everything.
had the right idea,
but
I think he had the wrong day.
Mm-hmm.
I think that happens Wednesday.
Might happen next Friday.
No, I think.
I think you gotta build.
Because MJF is gonna
first.
brag that he's now the best in the world.
He does. Well, wait, I don't know. because we gotta
He
get
beat
through
Chris Jericho.
We gotta get through
times.
Darby. I don't know. Maybe let's plant the seeds. But anyways,
I will say I was very excited that in that media scrum that Punk put out a bunch of names that he said he wanted to work with, and one of those top names he said I was very excited. He said it was Brian Pillman Jr. He needs a push in AEW, and I'm just waiting for the day. I love the Varsity Blondes. I love Griff.
I think you build up to
I
it.
think Griff Garrison is very underrated too. He's one of my unsung heroes of AEW.
Keep an eye on those Varsity Blondes. Like if you see anything, maybe just to build up to him and Punk down the line. Then now that that's in the year. Also, could be a year from now for all we know.
One thing I also
Gotta
did
take
agree
time.
with Punk about. He said he never watched Darker or Dark Elevation.
Do
Well,
any
he
of
also
us?
says he also
Unless
says
there's local talent on, do we?
jeez. He also says
I'm
that
just messing with you.
he also says
Sorg.
that along the side of I don't YouTube. Period. I still listen to CDs and watch DVDs. So
hello? What do you think I do?
yes, I know you're so old school. So well, anyways, well, one thing CM
I
Punk.
just wanted to.
One thing CM Punk's definitely not watching is IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.network. I mean, we do have DVDs, but he'd have to get on the internet to get them, and I don't think that's happening apparently, according to that media scrum. But I don't know, whatever. Hey, to each their own. I mean, that's okay. But for the rest of you, we do have a lot of great stuff on there. We have the latest edition from just under 2 weeks ago of RWA returning at RWA's Resurrection with Impact Wrestling's Crazy Steve and Cody Deaner in championship action over there, and a lot of fun. Really good to get back with that crew, and also part of that is Prospect Pro Wrestling. Their shows back here since just a few months ago. I think April was the first one back, if I'm not mistaken. All part of that over at Indie Wrestling Network. Digital editions and DVDs available at IndieWrestling.us. And something new. This was presented because. I mean, it may seem familiar. I know Impact Wrestling is doing one of these, but we also got an email asking if we would like to. So you can now also subscribe to IndieWrestling.us for $4.99 on the YouTube channel, and that currently includes a good lineup. I think the majority of Prospect Pro Wrestling and Rise Wrestling is a part of that collection right now. We're going to be adding more titles as we go here for $4.99. This is different. It's going to have, of course, some crossover, but I think it's going to be a little bit different than what we have at Indie Wrestling Network. We're at the early stages of that. So if you don't want to, because I know going to a different website that you're not familiar with, but doing it something in YouTube, it's backed up by the Big G themselves. That may be easier for people to do it. Plus, you can do it right in your app and do all the stuff. If you're want to throw it on your app, on your Apple TV or Roku, on YouTube, and you subscribe to this, so you can watch all that stuff right on your TV real easy. So give that a shot. That's at the IndieWrestling.us YouTube page. You can check that out right now. And like I said, content is coming up there right
you can
now.
Even find some CM Punk stuff on
You can find some CM Punk
Does CM
stuff.
Punk buy the DVDs?
Where
on
did we?
IndieWrestling.us?
Yeah, I don't think he does. But we also what? Are you?
He's on the network.
I'm
This guy right
getting to
here.
that. That's my transition. Haven't you heard this show before?
He's not part of show business.
You're a manager. You don't know how I do
He's
this.
the Frenchie Martin of the managers.
We
He's
plug
awful.
all the things, and by the way, the guy on the couch, and we start the interview. That's why the ad's here. That's why he's in the second segment.
This is why Bradley's the butt of the podcast.
That's okay.
What
okay.
would Vince say
All
to
right.
him? You're
Was there a point I was making? CM Punk. If you go to IndieWrestling.us and IndieWrestling.us YouTube, and not under the paywall, actually, are CM Punk matches. There's actually several on there right now. So feel free to explore that, I guess. So, damn it. But also, like I mentioned, Prospect Pro Wrestling. There's a show this weekend called Homecoming, because Prospect Pro Wrestling's been back, but because of COVID and everything, they had to have a different venue, size and space and all those kinds of things. But finally, we're going back to Worthington, back to the Worthington Civic Center, the place that the Prospect Pro Wrestling, the home of the Pasta Death match, the home of the crazy last man standing match. Damn it, that was crazy. And what else do we have? Baguette on a pole match, and fashionista street fight's going to be part of this next one. But the most important thing is a part of this 2PW Homecoming on Saturday will be
Chase Gold!
There it is. There it is. Are you keeping count over there?
I have 3
you
so
got, You got
far.
3 so far.
When we get to the what have you learned this week? We'll
All right.
get the final count.
Slacking.
Chase Gold, thank you so much for joining us. Nope, there he is. There you go.
Thank you for having me.
First of all, you had a little bit of excitement on Twitter a couple of weeks ago. We have to talk about that. Like I said, Warhorse was very excited when I dropped your name to him. That is legitimate, what you're seeing on the Twitter. That is a real emotion coming from that guy. So first of all, can you tell us about the moment that, because I think that's what a lot of people listening to the show right now probably are aware of you from, that exchange. What happened?
It's actually really funny because Warhorse and I didn't speak much after my match, not much before.
Yeah.
But I knew he watched my match, and it was actually I just want to say.
And this is for Camp Leapfrog, right?
Yes, yes, out in Camp Leapfrog, which we had the show at the H2O Center. Where Matt Tremont, Danny Havoc, they all made a lot of memories there. But yeah, so I had this match with wrestler who goes by Twitch, and I don't know, it's something about it. Warhorse just really found me appealing. Maybe it's because I'm Chase Gold.
Ouch.
But yeah, so the following Monday, because that show was on Sunday. Oh, I just want to also say it was a double header event. So they also had Daniel Garcia versus Wheeler Yuta as the main event. So there was a lot of talent in the H2O Wrestling Center. So I got to make a lot of nice connections. And you could argue that they made nice connections with me too. But yeah, so anyway, I actually somebody messaged me on Facebook Messenger because I had my Twitter notifications off for about a week because I just kept getting a bunch of like COVID and political ones, so I was just tired of seeing them. So someone messaged me and said, someone messaged me on Facebook and said, "Hey, did you realize that you're like trending on Twitter?" And I was like, what?
Dude, yeah, I woke up and you get that like wrestling and then like here's a thing, and I was like, Chase Gold was like the highlighted thing in my notifications on an account that doesn't follow you, by the way. Like I get it on like some of my tech podcast things for some reason,
right?
Because there's stuff crosses over. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? Then I saw what was happening in 2BW chat, but
yeah, I was already up for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then I got that message and I look, and the little notification icon said I had 76 missed notifications, and then I click on it and I'm going through all these tweets, messages, likes, retweets, all this stuff, and these they start popping up, like, and it actually gave me a little bit of anxiety at first, but then I was loving it.
Where you're like, oh no, am I getting canceled?
Yeah. Actually, my initial thought was, like, what did I do or say in New Jersey that is already coming back to bite me?
Oh no, it's always New Jersey. Yes.
But no, I mean, I was thoroughly surprised to see that many people excited for Chase Gold, and I actually doubled my Twitter followers in 48 hours.
Oh my god, yeah, you are up to you did. So
and
that's amazing.
And
I need to go follow.
Probably gained about 80 on Instagram, and I got a bunch of Facebook friend requests. So
the tweet in question, I was trying to pull it up, but all I pulled up was when he retweeted because I re-put out obviously the Prospect Pro Wrestling video, right? And tagged him in it. So we have that out there, and so it was something like this guy came out, and I loved it because he yelled Chase Gold. Then he kept yelling Chase Gold, and I hated him, but then I loved him by the end, right? I believe was the gist of it.
He said something like, the guy came out, his name was Chase Gold. I know that his name is Chase Gold because he said his name about 80 times.
Yes.
Right.
And listen, I think we've all been to indie shows where we are watching the show. Maybe we're new to the promotion or something.
What's that guy's name?
Yeah, what's that guy's name? I couldn't hear the announcer over the muffled, shitty PA. He didn't put his name on the tights. I have no idea. I'm like, I don't know. The guy in purple, he was pretty good. You know, I mean, you'll say that I'll come on here after seeing a random show while I'm traveling in like Detroit or something. I'm like, I don't know who these guys were, but they were fantastic, right? Like, you already were ahead because everybody's going to know your name on this one going out of it. So.
And you know, when you're going through wrestling training, you know, there's tens of thousands of indie wrestlers across the world, and you really want to find a way to make yourself unique.
Yeah.
So for the first year of wrestling, I was known as the guy in the romper, or the guy in the guy that wore like grandma's drapes, grandma's curtains, all
But
these.
it looked different than everybody else.
It looked different, but what I failed to realize, and actually Henry Godwin, shameless plug for another show upcoming with Henry Godwin.
We'll talk about that.
Yep. Okay. So he ruined my romper. That's 100% a fact. Whatever was in that slot bucket ruined my romper. So I found that was the perfect time to break out of the romper and to get into my wrestling singlet. And I guess I just really needed that because there was only so much a man can do in a romper in a wrestling ring. Now I have so much more, like I can just move around better, and I honestly feel like it's elevating me to new levels that I'm excited to reach. I just
know
saw
that,
the picture pop up there too.
Yeah, this is the gear. If you're with us on video, and I'll see if I can pull up an old romper one too. What was that, Bradley?
I know my friend Brad Kaler that I often sit near is just absolutely offended that you kept wearing a belt with your romper.
I don't know why that was offensive in any way. Are you wearing a belt? You're wearing a belt right now. Yeah. I'm wearing a belt right now. Yeah. Everybody in here with pants on is wearing a belt. You just wear belts.
I'm not wearing a belt. I have a drawstring on mine.
I'm not wearing a belt.
It's like the Orange Cassidy jeans with the drawstring situation.
Come on, guys, you got to do better than that.
I mean, you know, I'm lucky I'm wearing shoes today. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. You work from home. You're just like
I work out of home.
Yeah, Mike probably isn't wearing pants right now. He's
no, I am.
Well, Mike is completely Donald Ducking it right now.
We don't need to see proof. We can just leave it as he
That's
is
your
wearing
imagination,
pants. Right?
I mean, you know, if you're listening to audio, we could all. Who knows? Anyways, let's not go down that road. This is about you, Chase, and whether you're wearing pants.
Right.
I
am wearing pants right now, but yeah, the romper.
Because thank you, Chase. Thank you very much.
I'm looking at the live feed right now, and you definitely cannot tell. I am
good.
But yeah, the romper's gone. You will not see Chase Gold in a romper, maybe ever again. I am like, if you can see the muscles in my body, you can now. My opponents can now breathe in my armpits a little bit better. There's just more breathability for me and for everybody. Like it's a win-win all around, in my opinion.
There you go. So okay, let's talk. I want to get to the Henry Godwin because I saw that was happening in that other company, and I was like, okay, I got to get my head around this.
Right.
But so let's talk about you got a different style. You are the best smelling man in professional wrestling.
That is
correct. So why?
Why am I the best smelling man in professional wrestling?
That's the question. Where did this come from? How did this?
Who did you take the title from? I assume it's Rick Martel.
Actually, yeah, I did take it from Rick Martel.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I thought so.
Yeah.
So there is precedence for this.
Yeah. Arrogance. There is an expiration date on things, and it just so happened that for Rick Martel, when I debuted in 2019, that was it. But no, to answer your question, there's not much you can really change at a certain age. Like I'm stuck at this height. I'm like 5'8" or 5'9", whatever I might be, or the weight that's going to fluctuate a little bit. Something I can always control is how I smell, and I'm very proud of that because that is something. There's a few things they say in like GQ magazine about the best ways to present yourself, the best ways to make yourself more confident, and it really worked for me. And that's you can wear a watch, or you can wear cologne. And then I started getting into cologne a lot. Never was into Axe, Bod, any of those ABC, Curve.
Just half of the locker room is that, I think.
Right. And, some people, I swear to you, it's disgusting. People will just take a Febreze bottle and spray their gear. They don't. There are some people I am convinced have never washed their gear.
I believe it.
I wash my gear after every match.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's a courtesy thing to do. So I'm really just trying to set a new standard. I am challenging someone to take this title for me, the best smelling man. I have yet to find that in close to 2 years as a traveling professional wrestler.
That was actually going to be one of my questions is what is your scent of choice? You say don't use Axe, don't use Bod, don't use Curve.
Right.
So what would be your scent of choice?
I do make my own cologne. It's my signature must that no one else...
Does it have a name?
Yeah, it's called Hubris.
Okay.
Excellent. I love it.
And I wear that for special occasions, but around wrestlers, love my Versace. Love Savage. I love like Paco Rabanne. All of these kind of colognes.
Should we present what colognes we wear for you to review them? Like to see if we need to up our smell game.
This is gonna get disappointing.
I can already tell you, if it is in a spray bottle, do not even waste your energy grabbing it.
I'm a Old Spice deodorant and go kind of guy. So I you know.
I wear Night Swept from Rite Aid.
Brad, you don't even have to answer that. I know you don't wear cologne.
It's probably never been covered on this thing. I have no sense of smell. I've never had
smell
it in my
blind.
life.
I just learned this a couple weeks ago. The Bradley
It
is
doesn't
smell
mean
blind.
I smell bad. I just have no sense of smell.
But how do you
You
know?
smell blind.
But
Like
I can't- I
colorblind,
can't
you smell
smell.
blind.
Bradley, as if we needed another
Because
thing to
we
check
kinda
mark.
guessed that.
We didn't need another thing to check mark for you just being a loser.
Hey!
Like, you're just adding on to your own list there. You didn't have to admit that.
Write her down.
I rocked some Cool Water. I know it's in a spray bottle, but it
David
compliments
off.
me well.
Ooh,
David.
that looks fancy.
Yeah,
It-
I mean,
it's not bad.
You got Chase's attention. He's
It's-
looking at the monitors.
Okay.
It's among the better ones. I will
Okay,
say that.
cool.
I will say that.
okay. So we're
No, Chase. I do have to say, I know no one's come close to your particular musk yet,
Correct.
but I do give $1 million ideas here on the show, and I just thought of one. If you find someone throughout the course of your career who you think might come close to taking that title from you, may I suggest that you have a specialty match, Smell in the Cell.
Ooh. I'm interested to hear a little bit more in that.
It's just a name concept right now, but I
Right.
presume there will be like different colognes around the enclosure,
Okay.
and like can be used as weapons, spray in the eye, maybe a bowel over the head, stuff like that.
Okay.
I'd be down for that, and a lot of materials that smell good too. We could do that.
Okay.
Maybe
not a
you
bad idea.
hide a lead pipe in some roses.
Right.
I mean, it's a classic trope.
You could throw out your grandma's potpourri in the eyes.
I think we just
Oh,
previewed a
yes,
match.
potpourri in the eyes.
This sounds like the kind of thing that 2PW is going to try.
Let's not give him any ideas.
You just need a feud with the chest flexor, and it's going to happen, right? So,
Book it.
book it, Marshall. Marshall, come on.
Where are you, Marshall?
There, yeah.
CC Marshall.
CC. From the chat room, Tina, hers. I think this is her sense. So we'll get reaction here. Tina in Seattle. Britney Circus or Fantasy?
Or Japanese.
Oh, do you go over to the women's sense?
Yeah. Or are you just expert in the male sense?
Currently just an expert in the male sense.
Okay.
Right.
And she says also Japanese cherry blossoms from Bath and Body Works.
Ooh.
So
As soap, I hope, not as a
Yes.
perfume.
Is that a smell in the cell weapon?
that could be too.
It could be.
Matt Carlins wants to know, do you sell your fragrance at the merch table?
I do.
Excellent.
I do sell fragrances at the merch table.
You were the second person I know that sold some sort of fragrance cologne, and Effie was the first.
Effie?
Actually,
Oh.
yeah. He was for a knife. We had a chat with him when he was first getting popular, and he was selling a lot of interesting things on that store. But some we won't talk about here.
Indie wrestling.
Yes, exactly.
Cologne 8x10s, and I'm thinking about getting an Etsy store going.
Oh, that'd be
I actually do
perfect.
make cologne and
Yeah.
perfume.
That's for real. Like that is
Right,
like
right,
like I mean,
it's an easy thing. It's one of those things that like once you get good at it, you actually prefer it over other brands anyway.
that's a beautiful thing, because like how many times we get guys coming in here and like they're whatever outside of the ring, but you are like, this is you.
Right.
You're one of those, like, this is Chase Gold is Chase Gold.
And
All
I
of
mean,
that.
for not, I feel like we should popularize this more, because wrestling fans, all of us, we have a Musk.
We do.
And it's not necessarily the best.
Yes.
Like usually the smaller the arena.
Yeah, you're
Listen,
not getting any
Heavier
argument
Yes.
from me.
Yeah. So,
Oh, clothespins. Clothespins could also be used in Smell in the Cell. I don't know why. Like
Or-
instead,
or even
instead of pulling out a
some-
bag of thumbtacks, you
Right.
pull out a bag of clothespins.
even
Clothespins.
as a service to the fans
Mhm.
who are on board with smelling better and knowing that they are exposed to the other fans, you could sell branded clothespins at your merch table.
Yes.
I could do that. I actually, before I debuted, I actually went around, like, throwing breath mints at the people that would watch, like, my practice matches, or I would walk up to them and physically, like, spray them in the face.
Yeah.
And I can't really say who it was, but somebody ended up getting an allergic reaction to that.
Oh no.
Oh,
So
oh boy.
just know that the Chase Gold you see now is a very toned down version. Because if it were up to me, if lawsuits did not exist, I
Well,
would
you
be much
shouldn't
worse
have
fit.
used peanut oil in that fragrance, right?
I think it was actually like chamomile,
chamomile, really.
like a scent. Yeah,
So I imagine that's something that a person would not encounter too often.
correct.
Well,
So,
it depends on how
like,
heavy
is-
of a tea
yes.
drinker they are.
The tea drinker, yes, exactly. Wow. So I got to ask this. I saw that you are currently in the middle, I believe, of a feud with Henry Godwin. Now, for the youngins out there, Henry Godwin was around in the mid '90s in WWF.
It was like 96,
like 96 or so.
95,
And
96
Sorg,
was his
Sorg,
Yes.
that's Henry O. Godwin.
Oh, I'm
as
sorry.
As in H-O-G.
Yes. And then it was Phineas I. Godwin for
Yes.
P-I-G.
Oh.
That was who Triple H first feuded with after the curtain call.
Yes, there was a slop
Yeah,
bucket
that was like,
situation.
it was the
mud
just to
pit.
give a
The
time
mud
frame.
pit.
of when it was-
So
when it
I
was.
understand that Henry has made his way over to IWC,
That is correct.
and you are feuding with him.
Correct.
This has to involve the slop bucket.
Yeah. Let it be known, Henry Godwin won a Slammy Award in 1996 for the wrestling's smelliest wrestler. I take offense to that. Like the fact that that's a title that you're proud to have, just kind of shows me the man that you are. So, actually, it happened completely by randomness, but the reset button at Reloaded, Henry Godwin came out. He actually looked really impressive in the ring. There I am waiting in the back, waiting for my number to be called.
This was the Battle Royal.
The 16-bit challenge.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
No sooner than right after Henry Godwin did I come out. Disrespected me, threw me out, hit me with a slop drop, and as I have my back turned to him, the type of man he is, comes over and dumps his slop bucket full of whatever it was, ending the reign of the romper, ruining Ella Shea's hair, and infuriating me. So I asked Plummer, Justin Plummer, the promoter for IWC, to please give me a match with Henry Godwin. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So I really wanted to make a statement against him. And if you watch the last show, I pinned Henry Godwin 1, 2, 3.
I was going to say, if I'm not mistaken, you do
Clean.
own a
Won
victory
in the
over
ring.
him. I don't know about clean.
Over
Clean,
a
if-
Slammy winner.
To be fair, I don't know if anything is clean involving Henry Godwin.
I believe there was some help from someone that was in the match beforehand. but-
Right. I mean, listen, I didn't see anything.
Mr. Jock Sampson, wasn't it?
No, it was Derek
it was,
Dillinger.
Was it? Oh, you're right. It was Derek Dillinger. that
Right,
got involved.
so,
yes.
Him and I, now at our upcoming show in September 4th, we have a tag match. Henry Godwin really wants his slot bucket back. I don't know why. We took it kind of as a joke at first, but now I see how much it infuriates Henry Godwin, so I'm just going to keep playing around with it. My possession. It's mine. It's Ella Shea's. It's Derek Dillinger's. It's the only thing that it has to be is not Henry Godwin's.
So have you filled this bucket up with good scents, like fill it up with perfume to make it smell better? Or is
Like
it
it
just
has
there's-
been-
there's
like a gift basket.
It has been professionally power washed.
I was gonna say
It
maybe
has
it's just
been-
gone past the point of no return. It can't smell better, but I
Right.
guess
It's
if
been sitting in a tub of bleach for the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, however long it's been.
Makes sense.
And I have no intentions of taking it out. I don't even, as far as I'm concerned, just the way that he killed my romper, I'm killing his slop bucket. He took something from me.
that's fighting words.
He took something from me. I'm taking something from him.
Wow.
Wouldn't that
I
bleach?
don't blame you. I don't
Wouldn't
blame
that
you.
really damage the bucket? It'll be in a bad.
Do I,
sit-
is this the
he
face of
doesn't
someone that
care now.
cares?
I mean, it would turn to really bad material. Maybe
I
as
don't
bad
think
as
bleach is- I don't think
Ella's
bleach is
hair.
as bad. Bleach
Oh.
can't be as bad as anything that was in the slop bucket.
Exactly.
And I have to say this. I want to speak to Henry O'Godwin directly. As a fellow Slammy Award winner, I will say, not cool.
He
Just-
bought
just,
that.
Yeah,
uncalled for.
Nobody handed that.
Was
to him.
that on the
Uncalled
was that on the
for.
clearance rack at the WWE shop?
Oh no, I won this. I am a Slammy Award
He
winner.
bought
Can
it.
Can you give us an update on the status of Ella's hair at the moment?
After seeing 2 professionals, it is in much better shape.
Okay.
And it smells better.
That's good to hear.
Right.
That's good to hear.
My prayers and thoughts have been with her over the past couple weeks. So
Me too.
That's good. That's good. Wow. Chase Gold, thank you. This is great. I've loved seeing how you've developed over the last year, and I knew something was around the corner when we did the Chase Gold counter.
Chase Gold!
I think we're at 5.
Wow. But you can
Five.
see that. You can actually see that over on the Twitter and the social media and YouTube and stuff too. Yeah, we did a counter. I think you did 14 Chase Golds over the course of this 3-way match with Zeke Mercer and Anthony Young, and at 2PW. And I understand that's getting a lot of play lately. So, there's a romper too. So there's a look at the romper in that shot.
R.I.P.
Yeah, I
to the
think
romper.
that, I think that
R.I.P.
show,
Yeah.
that was actually the last time I wore that romper.
Oh yeah.
And then I got a little bit
Yeah.
too muscular to wear that one. The white romper was a little bit more forgiving of
There's
some
a
weight
belt.
gain.
He's got a
Yeah,
belt.
you see the belt? You see the belt?
There is a belt on there.
Right.
Yeah.
Could I ask who designs your attire, your shirts, and your rompers and such?
Those I was actually sponsored by a company called Romper Jack.
Okay.
Because I
Romper Jack sounds like another indie wrestler.
Yeah, he does.
there was
Is that your tag team partner?
so back in about 2015, that's not a bad idea. In about 2015, 2016, whenever there was this male romper craze, there was about 3 companies that tried to focus all their efforts on that. Romp Him, Romper Jack, and I can't remember the other name of the company.
Romper room.
I don't think that was it.
Little.
No, that's a little on the
The third company was, however, bought by Tipsy Elves. Anyway, and I'm telling you, I'm very knowledgeable in my rompers.
Wow.
I'm not
a
doubting
lot here.
anything he says because
Right.
he sounds very professional in what he's saying.
Yeah.
Right, so Romper Jack sponsored
Sounds
me.
like an expert.
They sent me all of those rompers. The first one I bought, I started tagging them in some photos and letting them know that, like, hey, I'm giving you exposure. Hook me up. They sent me a bunch of rompers
Nice.
free to me.
Nice.
So if you go on my Instagram, you'll probably see that I tagged them. That's our little bit of our agreement that we had. But actually, our deal's unofficially done because I'm done with rompers.
Rompers are-
Yeah, nothing against Romper Jack. It's just it was a little bit limiting for me.
You're out of
And-
that phase of your life.
Right. I'm a little bit more matured now.
I got one last question before we go to break here. We recently it's sitting over there, but we do have the main event, the tag team, the main event. Again, Jones and Duke Davis. They have a candle from Main Event Candles, spelled a different way. Would a candle be in your future as well? Perhaps
That could be another smell in the cell weapon.
I would love to be gifted some candles or have a candle named after me. That'd be awesome.
There you go. An authentic candle. You don't do candle making, right, or anything? Like I think it's
I'm not currently into candle making.
Is there
Yet.
is there a candle that smells like mediocrity?
I don't know, Bradley. What do you have in your house?
Hey.
Hey,
Ah,
on that
you said you would
note,
love for that one.
well, one smell I do appreciate is that of pepperoni pizza. Transition. Hold on. There we go. There, we're coming back. I hit the wrong button there. Slice on Broadway, New York City style. Yinzer made. Beachview, Carnegie, East End, North Hills, here in Pittsburgh, PA. And of course, not everybody has a Slice on Broadway near them. Sorry, Tina in Seattle, of course, as usual. But please, just like we tell you guys to please support independent wrestling, please support your independent local pizza joint as well. It's usually the better stuff, and I mean, it goes a longer way to help out the local bits. Yes.
I'm fully expecting.
Yes.
I'm fully expecting when you come for the wedding.
Yes. Did I bring you Slice on Broadway?
You have a pie in the car.
Has Barstool Sports came and reviewed them? I'm obsessed with David Portnoy's pizza review videos. So.
We will have to see if we can connect.
He
them
was
on
in
Twitter
Pittsburgh
then.
here a couple months ago. So
there you go. But of course, Bradley is doing the sexy show off of the pizza right there. There's some left there.
That's
been munched
the
at.
only time Bradley's ever looked good.
There you go. I guess so there's the Bradley seal of approval. Supporting Pittsburgh podcast with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Our good friend Slice on Broadway help us out feeding our guests in studio for a decade now. Thank you so much for them. You get free rompers. We get free pizza. It's a good world. Well, we're going to try to fix his camera over here.
No one wants to see
on
me
break.
anyways,
We'll
so.
be back after these messages. What's up? It's the Gigabyte Grizzly Brohemian, and this is a messed up time we live in, so I need you all to do me a favor. Wear your mask. Like this, not like this, or like this, or like this, like this. Wear your mask. It's for your safety and mine. Because if I see you without one, I'm going to pump kick a mask onto your face. Got it?
For a foot or an inch, yeah, fight for you all is the truth, and I'm in, yeah, fight for every breath.
The world of pro wrestling, it's bigger than ever. So how can you possibly keep up with everything that's happening? Just pro wrestling news. Don't fear falling behind. Give us just 5 minutes every morning, and we'll catch you up on the biggest news in the world of pro wrestling. No filler, no rumors, no spoilers, no pop-ups. Just pro wrestling news. Subscribe on your favorite podcast app or tell your smart speaker to play the Just Pro Wrestling News podcast. Find out more. Go to justprowrestlingnews.com.
Wrestling Mayhem show. We are here in the better smelling than usual Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA. I try. I try. I'm trying to get some incense around here. Maybe a little bit. Should have lit some tonight. Still work on that main event candle, actually. We got, of course, Mike's hanging out in Beacon, New York. Yo.
Yeah.
Brady's still here. He's munching some pizza. Mark's got a camera again.
Slice on Broadway.
There you go, baby. And, of course, Chase Gold.
No pizza over here. Chase Gold! Come on.
I know it's difficult. I get wrestlers in here. They're like, "Yo, I'm on a diet." It's like I gotta look good in that singlet. Like I get it. Anyway, so one thing I wanted to talk about because we've had so many questions, obviously, over the last year with all the releases. We're like, what's WWE doing? Are they gonna sell? Actually, there was a comment from Nick Kahn about whether they're trying to get sold, and they said we're open for business if anybody wants to talk to us, but we're not looking for it. Kind of say talking to somebody. That's I've seen this with tech companies too many times, right? But he had an interview. He sat down with BT Sports. That's actually, if you're unaware, BT Sports, the studio they film NXT UK during COVID is the BT Sports studio, right? So there's a little. It's like the WWE on Fox thing. On Fox Sports, it's like that. It's kind of that situation, right? So, but he talked to them, and there were some very interesting things said on there. I'll throw these verbatim because I don't want to take down notice. And these are quotes on here from, what am I on? The Overtimer.com. I was just trying to find the quotes real quick. So he was asked about things about like, why are people let go? What's happening there, et cetera, et cetera. So for part of that, basically kind of alluding to, hey, there's only one boss, and that's Vince, but between Bruce Prichard, who oversees the entire creative process, Kevin Dunn, who oversees all of our productions, Seth McMahon, Paul, Triple H, all involved in these decisions, with ultimately Vince making the final decision on everything. Nothing new there, right? We expect anything that's happened is a Vince mandate, right? So I don't know if there's one explain about the cuts. According to him, I don't know if there's one explanation for it. I think ultimately what's looked at is that person. For us, are they going to move the needle now or in the imminent future? By the way, we had a 2-day tryout in Vegas. This is an interesting aside. Hey, we let all these people go. Well, we had a tryout to hire I think they said 13 people they hired there. We've signed over a dozen new talent coming out of that tryout, and I'm not suggesting, that's why we cut the other talent, but we're always looking for what's next. So notice he really kind of avoided the question there and redirected. We live in the present. We live in the future. We don't live in the past. So when people leave and they move on with their life and their careers, that's good by us. For us, that's what works for us and our product at the moment in time. And again, what's going to work out down the road. And largely in part, the existing roster is based on that. On fan criticism, I don't know if we need to
hear
get
these
this
quotes.
part.
I feel like he's intentionally trying to lose us.
Right. And so there's something like that, and there's something like, and I don't think that was in a quote that I read, but there was a thing about, does this person move the needle? And now or in, I did say that. Are they going to move the needle now or the imminent future? Now you look at that list now with that in mind.
Like, the people they've released moved the fucking needle.
No, wait a minute. Now, when we say move the needle, like, we're looking at reactions, we're looking at the product, we're looking at and have the feelings of what we're reacting to on television. I think it is also worth considering when they say move the needle, like, it is, what does the rating look like when they have their segment? What do the T-shirt sales look like? What is the social media presence? Like, they're like, maybe there is a certain point. I've seen indie promotions cut like literally hire people because of their Twitter presence and stop booking people because of their lack of. Right? So there's a metric to this. So maybe it's like, hey, we need to get rid of X percent for whatever reason, financially, this, something on the books, and they're just looking at it and say, these are the bottom 15 people right now in NXT as far as doing anything. Also weird because half of them weren't even on TV, right?
Yeah, like, so there are some people who were released that absolutely make sense. Like Kona Reeves, love the guy, but that falls under that category. But Bronson Reed,
yeah,
that does
not. You tell me the Bronson Reed,
like you can talk about, like, over the past year, there are some people, the shocking people that have been released. A lot of them I understand, even if I don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
Bronson Reed, to me, is the most shocking release.
Oh yeah, they were doing so much with him.
More shocking than Bray, more shocking than Braun, more shocking than my beloved Iconics.
Mm-hmm.
Bronson Reed is a guy that was just a champion in NXT.
And looks like he fits the mold for WWE.
Exactly, and can move and can also do big guy stuff.
Yes.
If they don't want big guys that move. He can do both, and he's good on the mic too.
Yeah, he was. He seemed like the full package.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was the most shocking release for me.
Yeah,
he was absolutely the most shocking release for me.
So I mean, at least public facing this is a little insight into what is happening, or at least the mindset, or what they want you to think the mindset is here. I mean, he says a lot of stuff that's kind of damning for the company in this statement, to be honest, that they probably think is okay. But also, when we think about the WWE thinking, we were just talking about was stuff at SummerSlam a reaction to CM Punk on Friday. I'm sure there's some people at certain levels that are paying attention. I think Paul pays attention. I think you can see that by how NXT operates and the people they have and the things that they book, right? But I think in that list that they gave of the people in charge, there is nothing else. The worldview is WWE, and that's it. Because they have so much to be concerned with a large company like this, and also they've been number one for 20 plus years. Why would they worry about anybody else? There is nobody else, and they don't care what happens otherwise, other than this. Now, there's a comment that wasn't in here, and I need to find that part, but there was a comment about we don't want this just to be a place where indie guys come through. And it seemed to be a statement about the idea that guys come into NXT that were indie darlings, I guess, and this is the way I read it, at least, or interpret it, that they come in here because they're hot indie guys, and then don't pass the muster and they're out, and they've gotten the rub of being on NXT, right? That seemed to be it, but also contradicts that comment about we're fine when they go do other things. I don't know. So there's that.
I don't even know who they're referring to.
I don't even know what that is. It's but you let go a bunch of guys that you built in the PC. So what's the answer here, right? There were several. I mean, he's going to be super political. He's a business guy. He's doing the dance, right? This happens on all these kinds of things. I mean, there's, as we were talking about off air and on about the media scrum of Punk and Tony Khan, of things that were and were not said, So but that's how these things go. Generally, that's how things go. They have to be very political in their answers, especially them with stockholders, right? So, I don't know. What do you guys think about this? It gives a little bit of insight about what's happening over there, like it or not. But again, they get to call the shots. They decide something changes that they think is going to make them work better.
You don't become a $1 billion company without making a few people upset along the way.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm never a fan of seeing anybody lose their dream job or anything about that. Mm-hmm. But if I had to look at it from the business side of things, these are just numbers. These are just, they're not putting the human emotion, the human emotion that people felt watching these wrestlers. They're looking at it as, is Bronson Reed selling shirts?
Mm-hmm. It's corporate America.
Is Bronson Reed gonna be that guy that brings in the children, the new era of fans? Because I don't think it's a secret that on a large scale, wrestling numbers are dwindling. So are the guys that they have in these top spots, maybe they all get a certain time frame. Maybe they get, I have no idea how it works. Maybe they get 3 months. 3 months you get to be on TV. If you aren't bringing the numbers up, then you're out. It doesn't matter the name that you established in 15 years on the indies to them.
Yeah, it feels like NXT has been always really good about, you could slow burn, build, and develop and make mistakes. That's one of the things I hear about when people going over to AEW. It was you can do things, try things, make mistakes, and nobody yells at you for it, right? I hear that, honestly. I hear that same thing across indie companies, where you'll work with a certain company. You get it sounds like certain indie companies operate like WWE in a certain case about that high stress, you messed up, versus the other ones like, no, we're all here to learn, guys. Like, we're all to grow this product, this thing together. And that feels like that dichotomy there. And again, back to it, and maybe back to the CM Punk idea, right, about this wasn't wrestling, because WWE has not been a wrestling company for about 30 years, right? Like, think about that. Think about it, at least in that context, in that framing. They're TV, they're media, they're movies, they're toys, they're T-shirts. Like, they're in all those businesses, but everything starts in the ring. But also, as I watch the shows, I feel like less is being concerned in the ring, right?
But I would, like, you're saying that.
Mm-hmm.
AEW's into all those things too.
They are, but I feel like more attention starts and finishes in the wrestling ring, right? That's my feeling on it. That's my context on it. To me, like I feel like they don't forget that they're a wrestling company when they do things so much. But also they're a very young company that they're still on that focus, and they're built from that whole let's do things that were cool on the indies and put money behind it idea is what I feel like the mission is there, right? For better or for worse. Obviously, according to the numbers, a lot better than any of us expected, probably. So there's that, because there's probably, I think we're just discovering there's a bigger audience that appeals to that part of it.
The Dynamite rating for this week is going to be real interesting.
Oh yeah, that'll tell you. I'm curious what Rampage was too.
Because Rampage, like 10 o'clock on a Friday, they still did good numbers, even though I think it dropped off.
I was going to say, didn't SmackDown though double up Rampage? Wasn't like 2.3 million viewers to SmackDown to like 1.1?
Well, also,
but that's on Fox.
Well, yeah, that's on a network station. That is
Fox is a completely different animal.
Yeah, the animals, TNT. The reach and everything is wildly different than TNT. Mm-hmm. Like, even if you say, hey, SmackDown's getting like crazy numbers compared to Raw, it's like, yeah, because they're not on cable anymore. Yeah. It's kind of like the discussion we have with Ring of Honor. Ring of Honor is a whole different thing because they're on network television, syndicated, and they do fantastic for Sinclair, but they're not. You can't compare that to Dynamite, Raw, SmackDown, right? It's just a whole different animal. Rampage will never get a number that SmackDown gets. I just on the network.
I'm gonna say this:
10 to 11 on Friday night. I agree.
Match on Rampage, they have a shot.
Yeah. So what happened with CM Punk, wasn't about popping the rating to beat a SmackDown. It was about letting people know to tune in on Friday nights at 10 o'clock. That's what that was. That's what that was.
Rampage almost reminds me of like a WWF Monday Night Raw from like 1994.
It is.
It was like a 1 hour show, and it was like your main storyline or your big moment was in those first 15 minutes, and then the last 45 minutes was just filler.
Like main event,
I feel like that's what it's been. Last week it was Kenny Omega and Christian. This week it was CM Punk, and then unfortunately the last 45 minutes are kind of forgettable.
Well, I also contend, as I said last night, that the last 45 minutes was like, no, we're not going to outdo ourselves because CM Punk's the reason everybody's here. We're going to show some decent stuff.
You could almost say that in the debut episode though too. Like
I don't know if it's because I was here in Pittsburgh, but it was like you had that first match, you had the Brit in her hometown thing. And then you had the Fuego del Sol, which all of it was hot, all of it was good stories, and like that was I felt quality-wise, Rampage, other than Punk, fell off a cliff compared to last week.
Yeah.
As far as content, so I'm interested to see, but I don't think we're not. There were some very much gimmicks in the first two. Brit in her hometown, Impact belt defense, and then CM Punk. So what happens where are they next week? Is it Chicago again?
No.
This week is Milwaukee. Maybe
that's the problem. You keep giving surprises, and it's like you can only deliver so many times.
Yeah, well, they've been. This far in, they're still doing pretty good with it. But anyways, so getting back to the WWE side, also remember when we're like, this doesn't make sense for wrestling. Also remember, this is not a wrestling company, and so comparatively. It's wrestling by community and not by creativity.
When I saw the lists over the past year of people that were being let go, a handful of them, Bray Wyatt, whatever, seems like wow.
Bray was a personal choice. That he wasn't let go.
Yeah.
He was asked to leave. He asked to leave.
But it's a corporation. I could get that. I was with that. I'm just I'll reinforce this statement. If you as a leader want people to take you seriously and follow you, you got to make sense when you talk.
Well,
And I don't feel like Tony Khan, you get to the point. You say things and like, here it is, and then you can be quotable. And somebody will say, here's 5-word